Welcome back to the Manosphere Paradigm, the channel where we learn to level up in health, wealth, relationships, and hobbies. Today we're going back into the top G, Andrew Tate. He is responding and reacting to his interview with Piers Morgan, and he's going to be just breaking down some of the things and the kind of things. How would I call it? The things that he could, the lessons that he drawn, or things that he's observed when it comes to after the interview, going into the interview, and his perception of the interview, and how obviously he conducted himself, and how Piers Morgan conducted himself, and how the internet has obviously reacted. So let's get into his reaction at his Romanian spot, where he and his brother Tristan is doing just a response to what has been happening since his interview with Piers. And yeah, like I said, how the internet and the internet has responded to it. So let's get into it.
We're live from Bucharest, Romania, and the internet is currently exploding.
It's on fire. Why is it on fire, Andrew?
Because I just finished, well, in fact, it was actually last week. I did an interview with Piers Morgan, and it's just gone out into the Matrix. The Matrix has put the video out there. They edited it by about 50%. They removed most of my good points and tried to make me look as bad as possible.
I don't think
I mentioned that in my previous video, where I said the first video clip that came out that everyone was reacting to was that clip that was sliced and diced and had so many jump cuts that it was so obvious for everyone that is in the content creation environment or in the content creation world. We know exactly when something has been edited because we do all the editing. I mean, some people have got bigger channels. Me, I'm still small, so I do all the video editing. I draw up from beginning to the end in producing and publishing my videos. So I know exactly when I see certain jump cuts, and all of us could see right through that wonderful jump cut edits that a lot of the things and a lot of points that Andrew would have mentioned, or his approach to certain topics and his responses to it, how it was cut off, because there was one point that Piers Morgan was saying, and during the course of this interview, I could pick up, and I was like, wait, we're 2 minutes into the interview. What are you talking about? So a lot of people could pick up and see exactly right through the BS. And Piers Morgan was called out for the fact that he tried to put out there a very edited version of the discussion. I think that is one of the main reasons why he so quickly put out the full interview trying to save face. However, unfortunately, his bad behavior continued. His underhanded tricks and disingenuous approach to certain topics, and trying to play dumb and trying to paint Andrew in a certain view backfired, because a lot of women out there, a lot of females that is got their heads screwed on straight, agreed with Andrew and saying, you know what, this guy doesn't look and come across that bad now that I listen to him a bit more. Because Piers Morgan, a lot of women and a lot of guys have pushed Andrew Tate to the side and said, you know what, he's been banned, I don't care, I want to listen to him. But now, because someone like Piers Morgan is saying, no, I've had an interview with him and he's this and he's that, people is listening to Piers, that's listened to Piers, and his audience, I mean, he's got over what was it? I don't, what is it? I'm not sure. I have to check it out. But I know it's a couple of 100,000, maybe even 1 million when it comes to his subscribers. So a lot of people is tuning in and looking and listening to him. So he forced Andrew Tate onto his audience. And guess what? A lot of people, especially women, decided and found out, you know what he's saying is not that bad. And the way that he's calculating and articulating his points makes sense. Thanks, Piers.
You look bad at all.
Neither do I. They tried very hard to make me look bad.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, like, I don't want to insult Piers. Piers and I have disagreed on a bunch of issues throughout history. We've been disagreeing on a bunch of stuff. I don't know if he knew that before I got there, but me and Piers have argued for years and years, especially when I back had a Twitter account. And I've disagreed with him massively also throughout this scamdemic, because he was super take the experimental drug and I was against it.
Yep.
But
and that's not something you discuss on the show.
But before the show, to give Piers credit, he said, listen, we're going to do this show for the viewers at home. Let's try not to make it a shouting match. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And I agreed, but that means every time he talks, you have to shut up.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to even get a point across. And I'm very happy that 99% of the comments on the video are people saying, you didn't let him talk. You didn't let him talk. You didn't let him talk.
No, to be fair, he let you talk enough. I've seen him do that with some people, Tommy Robinson, a few others, where he just literally shouted at them for 20 minutes. And you called him out on that years ago. But to be fair, you got some very, very good points across. And
but he didn't let me talk more because he knew that the more I talk, the more the people at home will understand me. But the overall public reception is very, very good. The people understand that I was unfairly treated, unfairly banned.
And he does agree with that, actually.
Exactly. He believes that a lot of people and his audience are the ones that is very easily fooled, and people will basically just believe what he says. However, people are definitely smarter than what these kind of like talk show hosts think, and they are proving that where they have all the freedom and all the I would say artistic expression when it comes to the comment section. And that is what I love about the YouTube platform. I mean, there's obviously similar platforms that's out there. There's Rumble, there's Twitch and everything else, where you obviously can put in your comment and have your say about what's being discussed. But for me, there's something surreal when it comes to a lot of people calling Piers Morgan out, especially women, and saying, you know what, you forced this guy now onto us. He was banned from all social media platforms, yet you've sat down with him, and what he is saying makes sense, and the way you are conducting yourself is a bit shameful and embarrassing. That for me is golden.
To be fair.
And he does agree with that, yeah, to be fair. And most of the people at home understand that. And that's what's very interesting. The Matrix itself has banned me en masse, then lied about me with a huge smear campaign, trying their very best to convince the populace that I am evil, and they have failed, because 99% of the comments you read about me on any video about me are positive.
Yep.
Every single person saying good things. You know what's even funny?
Yep.
Someone sent me I don't have this for the Mr. Producing, but someone sent me a screenshot of the comment section of who's that guy with the long hair who is obsessed with girls being better than him at driving. You know, H3, L3's mate. That dork. So he's obsessed. He's always, every 5 seconds, girls drive better than me, girls drive better than me. The guy's weird. And he makes videos about me, and all of his comment section is people disagreeing with him. Any video I make, everybody agrees and says top G. That guy is making videos about me, and all his own fans are calling him a loser.
Exactly. That's one of the things that for me about the manosphere that stands out. I shout out to AMS from Alpha Male Strategies. This is something that I've heard from on his videos for years now, that he drills in. And I mean, obviously you've heard it from other guys as well. But one of the biggest things that will give you social proof is the fact, not just among your women or among your peers, whatever, but especially when it comes to men and other men, that and being a certain figure where men can look up to. Because the more receipts you have, the more you can produce the receipts, the more men will respect you. We do not respect each other the way women respect each other, where there's this blanket respect, and you can just respect each other. You just have to respect her because she's a woman. We as men, we respect each other, yes, common decency. However, if you're a loser and you are someone that doesn't want to put in the work, you are a fat loser, you don't want to put in the work to try and stay in shape, in trying to at least live a healthy lifestyle, understand what you're putting into your mouth and the consequences that it brings, and to be disciplined in that manner, then you're going to have certain health issues. You're going to have certain issues where you can't do certain things, or live a certain quality of life, because you are not investing in yourself physically, or you're putting in the work to work towards growing your career, growing your when it comes to just making money and running up the score. If you're someone that is wanting to just be, I'm going to do what I do, cool. But you cannot then want, you cannot want to have and demand from the world and be entitled to have amazing results where you do not want to put in the work. You're not investing in yourself. You're not putting in the sacrifice, but you are the one that still want to go to a job. And when they give you and offer you the salary that you are worth, you want to have triple the amount because you believe that is not your worth, but you have no qualification, you have no experience, and you're not willing to learn or start from the bottom, but yet you want to be entitled. The only creatures in this world, unfortunately, that can be entitled, they can be overweight, that can call it body positivity and say, I still want a guy that's in shape, is none other than women. So if you are conducting yourself in that manner as a man, we as men do not respect you, and you will clearly see the world treats you. The way we experience the world, the realities of you being a loser will kick in very quickly when you go out of your house, out of out of your door, and encounter the world and encounter life. You will be given a harsh reality check. That, unfortunately, is the way. Not unfortunately, I think it's a hell of a good way for us as men. It's hardwired in us to respect men that has accomplished things, and then after that we'll look further then to see the type of person they are and understand that they have a certain level of RP awareness, and you kind of like gauge from there how far they are, blah blah blah. But there's a level of respect you give to certain men because of certain receipts that they have, and that is just the way we are measured. It's a good way of kind of like stacking and measuring ourselves up against each other. We do it subconsciously. If you say that's not the way I operate, I don't look at people, blah blah blah, whatever. All I'm saying is it's hardwired within us to look at each other and to basically try and you kind of like measure yourself up to each other. It's a subconscious thing that you do to a certain extent, but we do not give respect just because the fact that you want respect. We respect results. So let's get back into the video.
Well, imagine, imagine.
No. Viewers. Not fans. Don't say fans. We have fans. They have viewers.
But imagine sitting on the internet all.
That's an important point Tristan is making. Piers Morgan has viewers. The Manosphere, Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit, The Rational Male. I'm gonna name a couple of channels, and all of these are shout outs to them because they are positively adding to the Manosphere. It is AMS, it is Anthony Spade, it is Steffi's Gold, it is MJ Actright, it's Fresh and Fit, like I said, it's Sneeko. Who else is out there? It is the Valutainment. It is damn. There is so many. Who is the one guy, that one channel that I love so much? And check out. Off the top of my Justin Waller. That's him. The one guy that's the P star. What's his name? Sterling. There's so many guys within the Manosphere that positively contributing and adding to men and giving all the knowledge out to them to help them to become better men. And I want to commend them for that. And that is why the Manosphere does not have viewers. We have fans, not fans to looking at you as a fanboy, but basically fans that seeing the results, seeing the receipts, and basically taking that lesson so that they can better themselves. There's free knowledge coming at you. Take the meat, spit out the bones, and just progress and get better. And then live life and go for the results that you want based on, where you are, the work you're putting in. Go for what you want. Don't listen to someone else as to how they did something. If you want to be married, you want to be purple, do that. If you want to be RP and you're not going to be marrying and have kids, then go that route. When that comes to the negative, completely blackball route, that is not something I would subscribe, because to me that sounds, and I believe that's a bit of a miserable existence. But you know what? Some guys, MGTOW, that works for them. Whatever floats your boat. Not the negative doomer, completely everyone is crap, and I'm not trusting this, that, and the other, and I'm just going to be living that life of just being miserable and negative towards other. That is not what I'm talking about. So I wanted just to give a shout out to the fact that we have people that's invested in our growth and invested in also them using the knowledge to better themselves, opposed to all these mainstream media that has viewers that just tunes in to listen to what's happening, but they can see this dude is overweight, he's fat, he's making arguments that doesn't make any sense, and they are just tuning in for the red meat. in the manosphere, you guys are tuning in because of the lessons that you're learning and the things that you can apply to your life and basically pass on the knowledge to others so that you can better for whatever result you want to achieve.
All day, every day. Imagine being him, right? He wastes his life doing reaction videos. He doesn't do any of the cool shit we do. He doesn't go on yachts. He doesn't fly around in private jets. He doesn't live a fun life. He's sitting there doing reaction videos all the time, and that's his life. And most of the comments on his own videos are calling him a loser.
Exactly.
Like, is that just
something about the son with the piker dude? We all know that dude. Go check him out. He sits there, criticizes everyone. He's got nothing positive to say. It's again one of those mindless channels that basically does not add to men. It is taking away and basically wasting your life and wasting your time watching these guys because nothing they say is growing. I will again go back to Fresh and Fit. When they hate, we create. And that is the motto of any man and any manosphere content creator. It is us contributing for you to get to the next level.
I like to be abused shit? Is this some self-machoism weird? Like, because he wears dresses as well. I put the picture up before. He likes to wear his dresses and he's obsessed with girls being better than him at driving. Is it just like a submissive thing?
People are saying that my mic is off. People are saying my mic is off. They can still hear me when my mic is off. It's fine, ladies and gentlemen. Everything's good. Yeah, Piers Morgan, I actually really liked the interview. I think it was great. I think that he came at you, as he probably should have, with some of the hardest misconceptions and the biggest out-of-context points. But that's, I think, what the audience and a lot of people who are unfamiliar with who you are really wanted to see. So I think he did a good job. The two stupid things he did, I won't say stupid, trying to, ask, oh, you've been on Alex Jones's podcast. Do you agree with this one thing he did? I didn't really know about that about myself either. You've done Vice. You've done Piers Morgan. Do you agree with everything they say? Of course not. And one of the other things, why did he ask you? And we're going to touch this topic because this was a topic we never touched before, ever, on any emergency meeting. Why did he ask you what you think of transgenders?
Well, what he's trying to do is
why?
I'll tell you why. Because the Matrix is.
We've never discussed transgender.
So that is something that they mentioned within the long format interview that was put out there. I'll again put the link in the description so you guys can go check it out. Watch the 1 hour, whatever, 18 minutes, whatever interview with Piers. Again, it's something that these guys in the mainstream media do. If they are not interested in discussing a topic or understanding and getting to the bottom of something or the truth about something, that they are not interested in the truth. They are interested in red meat, and red meat is giving the internet that one viral clip or viral talking point that they can build a platform and grow their platform even further from. It's going to translate into moolah, into money, and that is all they care about. It's not to have an honest and open discussion. It's not to get to the truth. The truth is something they hate. It's all about that viral moment and building their platforms. So them trying to connect Andrew to, I would call them like Dave Chappelle says, the LMNOP people, trying to connect him and try to bait him into saying something negative and giving something new for the internet to basically, the internet monster to basically feed off from. Andrew was very aware of that, and he was awake to the tactic that was being employed by Morgan, and he was ready for it, and he counteracted very good or very well against it.
No, but I'll tell you exactly why he did it. I have currently exhausted the ammunition the Matrix has against me. Yeah. They have built up a bunch of ammo trying to convince the world that I'm dangerous to women and I'm a misogynist. They've loaded their clip and they've fired every single fucking bullet in the gun at me. Top G, I stood there like Neo, but I'm not Neo, I'm Morpheus, and I absorbed all the bullets and refused to die. What they want to do is hope I make a mistake. So they ask me loaded questions like, what do I think of trans people? So I can sit there and say, well, I don't agree with that. So they can start a new campaign. Controversial kickboxer and well-known misogynist who's now anti-trans people, and they can start all over again. They're trying to make me make a mistake because they can't print the same story.
Like I said, there's so many people that has watched the interview, and a lot of people has come off watching the interview and seeing how pathetic and immature Piers Morgan conducted himself. And then they are actually finding themselves in this weird predicament with everything they've been told about Andrew Tate. and then listening to what he has to say in certain topics and the way he's conducted himself in a stoic and disciplined manner, in the way he was very calm in his responses, and where he called out the BS of Piers Morgan, that a lot of people can connect with, because people understand the way the media works to a certain extent. They understand how people get railroaded. They've seen it before, and they can see when someone is trying to do the same thing. And in this case, Piers Morgan doing it to Andrew Tate. So him pointing that out, people seeing it for themselves, and that whole thing of people not wanting to see Piers, to at least see Andrew Tate because he's been banned, but then Piers Morgan shoving him back into everyone's faces to say, I got him. No, you actually made a fool of yourself, and the world saw it live in 4K. And or at least when you finally released the full interview in 4K, people could see for how full of BS you are, and how Andrew Tate is actually a guy that a lot of people could understand, and a lot of people could actually connect with what he was saying.
Story twice, and their old stories are boring, and no one wants to hear it anymore because everyone knows it's a fucking lie.
You know,
so they're trying to trap me, and that's why I didn't answer the question, because I know exactly what he's trying to do.
And you know what, though, for the record, I have one of the most simplified opinions on trans people that I don't understand, that most people don't get, and most people don't like to talk about. If plastic surgery is readily available in a capitalist society, and a surgeon is willing to fix your nose straight, give you fake tits, do leg extensions for men, if all these surgeries are completely purchasable on the free market, and an adult individual, this is the point, an adult individual decides to go and get that surgery done, why the fuck would I have a problem with that any more than I would with a girl getting fake tits? I don't care.
They don't care about our genuine opinion. They were trying to set a trap. They're trying to set a trap, trying to find new ammo. That's what the Matrix has been doing against me for a very long time. I want everyone at home to understand something. I know I'm the one who's been living this reality. You guys have been tuning in for the show, but I got canceled nearly 2 months ago now, and I've been living this reality. I've been dealing with the consequences of being canceled en masse. I've been dealing with the consequences of reporters contacting everyone who's ever known me, trying to get stories about me that don't exist, people trying to lie about me, people being bribed and offered huge amounts of money to tell stories that aren't real. I've managed to contain and control it all. Every single interview is a trap. Every single Matrix-led opportunity is a trap, all of it. People don't understand how difficult it is to sit there, listen to a guy who constantly interrupts you, answer his questions. And the reason if you actually analyze very carefully, there was a slight microsecond in some of my delivery, which is unlike me, is because I was analyzing his speech for traps. I knew what he was trying to do. I'm trying to make sure that they don't get a new bunch of ammo to restart the machine, because the machine is almost out of fuel. They have nothing more they can do. They have nothing more they can say to me. The machine's almost out of fuel. It's done. So because of that, they're trying very hard to try and find something and get something. So I'm very, very careful. So that's why the entire internet's blowing up. But all the comments are positive, completely unlike the guy who wears the dress, who loves girls to be in charge of him. He must love getting beaten up. He must love getting beaten up by girls, bro.
No. I'm sorry. I know you told me not to go down this route. I remember the one word he always says about driving is empirical evidence, empirical evidence, empirical evidence. And it's annoying because he talks about crash statistics as though that's the metrics of a good driver. There are no female and male segregations in driving. It's a completely fair battlefield. Unlike basketball, unlike running, unlike swimming, and of the 771 Formula One drivers that there have ever been in the history of the sport, 5 have been women. So, like, empirical evidence, shouldn't he just, like, agree that he's wrong?
No, the guy's a loser.
No, but isn't that, like, his whole thing?
His own fans hate him to the point that his pinned his pinned comment on his own video is, oh, go defend Andrew Tate below. Like, he imagine giving up your life to the internet and nobody even likes what you say.
Imagine us spending 3 hours here and everyone talking about how H3 is better than us.
We would never do that. But it's the opposite. Everyone's here saying we're top G's and those guys are losers. And they're sitting there just getting insulted. I think they like being abused.
Maybe.
I think that's why he's like he's a submissive.
He's a fan of your favorite rapper, who we'll get to in a minute after a few super chats. If you want to.
You know what, guys, for me at the end of the day, a lot of times we've had the mainstream basically being the ones that is constantly driving the narrative of what they want you to see and what you want you to listen to and how you will derive your opinion about it. I myself fell in that trap. I was a person that at times got very emotional about certain topics and heated when it came to certain discussions, and I was unable to control myself in a manner that where we could have a debate about a topic and then come away from that and have still have a friendship. Sometimes I got into a discussion so heated where you have to literally be pulled off from another dude if it went to the next level. And I've learned the hard way. And I've definitely, when it comes to watching Andrew Tate conducting themselves at a place that I've been working towards for a while now, and where if you are getting to an extent of getting completely riled up and getting triggered, then you need to ask yourself some questions and say to yourself, is what you are saying, is it based in logic? Because if it is, then you're not going to be allowing yourself to get into a certain level of emotion and get heated because you know what you are saying is based in fact. But if you are logical, you are being swayed by each and every emotion and triggered by each and every little thing. You're not on your square, and you are allowing the other person and whatever they're saying to get you off your square, and you just going with being that reed that is blown across and blown in the wind. That's why there's stoicism is something that is considered a negative masculine trait, but I definitely believe in a positive manner. It can be used for you to sometimes when you want to say something, you want to act and jump in or react to something, you maybe just want to calm it down, listen, collect your thoughts while you're listening, comprehend what the other person is saying, and then answer and talk and have a discussion in good faith. Obviously, if someone is employing certain tricks and tactics that is not allowing you to understand that the conversation you're having is based in respect and based in a mutual respect, at least, you can then definitely call that out. And if the person obviously is still playing dumb, then for you basically have all the right to then end that conversation, because you know you've kind of like gotten to that point, like Rolo in the rational male always mentions. You get to a point of diminishing returns where if you're not getting to us, if you're not having an open discussion where both of you are open and listening to each other, but it becomes a shouting match and you basically switch off, and all it is about getting your point across and getting under the other person's skin instead of getting to talk about what the topic is, and then and debating that on a factual and logical level, and you and digress into a emotional discussion. That's unfortunately where you have to say to yourself, you know what, this is not going anywhere, and let's just stop and come back again and see if we can have a better conversation. But yeah, I think this is a good was a good reaction from Andrew Tate, and just describing his experience. A lot of people, I mean myself, to a certain extent, I've seen a lot of other content creators that has been going through the canceling issue. Sneeko recently, a week or two ago, went through it. There's some other content creators where YouTube is very lenient towards certain genders and certain narratives. And when it comes to the type of negative things they say from their end, it's okay. But when we in the manosphere, we talk open and straight about um, certain truths that's unflattering truths, then we are the ones that's being censored and being pushed down in the algorithm. And sometimes they call it, we are called that we paranoid and it doesn't happen. But I've seen it too many times where certain people's channels is just being pushed down, and you don't see the type of movement or type of exposure that it's supposed to get based on the type of the level of the platform and the type of content that they are creating, which is entertaining, informative, and definitely allows you to have open, robust discussion and debate in the comments, so that you obviously that will help the content creator just give better content. But I thought this was a good response from Andrew, and him just giving his opinion as to what has happened, giving his experience as to what he's gone through thus far when it comes to him being cancelled and everything else him and his family had to endure. So, when you look at someone and you understand the humanity, that it's just another guy, he's got all the things that he has, monetary, success, status, and so forth. But at the end of the day, he's still a man. He's still a person that has family connected to him. He has cousins, he has uncles, he has sisters, he has brother. I don't know, I'm not sure how many kids they are, but he's got family and people that cares about him. And if you are someone that's going to basically smear the person and just go on doing hit pieces without any facts and just doing it for the sake of being riled up in your emotion, I think that's a bit unfair. But let me know what you think about this video in the comments. Hit the like button, and so that this video can be pushed in the algorithm. Subscribe button. Let's get me to 1,200, 1,500. That's definitely what I'm pushing towards. And check out my older videos. Check out how I looked when it came to me starting out my channel and how I've progressed. I mean, it will definitely be a good laugh. But also you'll be encouraged to see how I've grown over this last period doing my channel. And I'm also always trying to innovate and bring something fresh and new to the manosphere space, and bringing something informative, entertaining, and something that we can openly and robustly debate. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers. I'm out.